My name is Nancy Gail Fox, and I'm a prophet for God, Jesus Christ, and Virgin Mary. I've been writing for them for 16 years to stop sex trafficking run secretly through the government system. And to me, this artwork with Jesus Christ and a boy handing him a paper is to shut down CPS DCFS. As there you see Lincoln and George Washington, who I also write for 16 years, and for all the presidents as their medium, as a Holy Spirit writer and a spirit writer for famous people who passed on. And they've all explained that trafficking is run through the government system by framing nice parents to CPS and DCFS to be not needed case files. And I started on this unfortunate, grueling prophet journey 20 years ago, and it was a miracle. In February 2005, a person I was close to, who had passed on, contacted another spiritualist channeler woman, and she informed her by channeling to her she had to speak to Nancy Fox 1,000,000 times over. So I did a spiritual channeling reading with this woman, which I had done as a child on a spirit board, and I'm psychic my whole life. And in 2005, I was in my 20th year of sobriety, so I lead a spiritual 12-step life since 1985. And there I was, feeling very connected to God, intuitive, spiritual, and then this woman tells me that someone kept interrupting her reading, saying they had to speak to Nancy Fox. So February 05, did a reading with her, and it was channeled, Nancy Fox, you're put on earth to do goodwill and to save the human race. And she said, well, you better buy an angel board and get to work. And so I did. And that year of 05, I bought a house with a spiritual ambiance with church bells chiming from across the way, laid in oak trees, where my intuition heightened even more and where I felt so spiritual. And I ordered my angel board from there. And every night I started channeling on it. First thing it spelled when I got out of the box was, this is God. So every night I sat channeling away, a couple hours every night by white candlelight, or from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. And for God and Jesus Christ and many others. And I started getting crime tips in my readings. And Jesus spelled the word voyeurism very slowly in 2007, which means a peeping Tom voyeurist, which years later turned into gang stalkers on spy cam hacking, bugging equipment, and security cameras. As that is how they run trafficking through the government system, is by spy cam equipment. My readings have said 1,000,000 times over. And so that's the big tip. And they pretend they're covering case files by spy cam equipment when they're the criminals stalking people they frame to be a not needed case file. So that was one of the first crime tips I had spelled out. Voyeurism in 2007 fall. And today my reading explained they put spy cams on mirrors with super glue on the top. So that's another new tip I got today, is I'm constantly doing tips to figure out and explain how they run trafficking through the government system without real government officials noticing, as it's a very sneaky ring named gang stalkers who gang stalk targeted individuals by spy cam, hacking, bugging equipment, and security cameras. So, and in 2008, stalking went on, vandalism went on, car break and theft, cats disappearing, a probable catnapping, gang stalkers swarmed around our mailbox on a post, many things like this. And God and Jesus spelled out, there are two or more lies, son of Satan conspiracy, who take people to sex slavery by lying. And that is the root of how they traffic. It is by lying. Today, my reading says 5 to 9,000 of them are lying about nice parents in Ames, all over the states where they run trafficking through the government system without people noticing. And the states my readings name that they do this in are California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, South Dakota, North Carolina, Tennessee, Ohio, and New York State and New York City. Those are the states that God and Jesus name where this trafficking is done through the government system. And it's the same as the tip I got spelled to me in '08 on my angel board, a two or more lies, son of Satan conspiracy, take people to sex slavery by lying. And I have spent many years piecing together all my prophet writing and what the tips I get by speaking for God and Jesus. And I've done many medium videos channeling them also, and so on. And I do readings for customers for 15 years that I channel God and Jesus in. And in 2009, I became an open vessel, medium clear, with the ability to prophet write for God and Jesus Christ and all the passed on presidents. In 2009, I started writing for them by hand, and they explained how trafficking is run through the government system. And they explained it's run by men and women who pretend they're investigators who are really human sex traffickers. And I've elaborated on that by compiling all the tips and written many theories and explained how this is done, that I will explain now, and that I've explained a million times over for many years, so people will know what is going on, as it's very deceptive and sneaky. They are very phony, and again, they do this by lying and lying and lying. They brainwash the United States of America in reports, in aims, in texts, in messenger. They lie and lie and lie and reverse truth and facts about nice parents to capture the whole family for human trafficking is the reason. So on that note, no children of any age should be taken from any parents due to the risk. And that's what this artwork represents to me, with a boy handing Jesus a paper with the White House Capitol in the background, George Washington and Lincoln at his side, and everybody aghast, as that's how they will be when they see how many have been murdered in this country secretly without anybody knowing, as they are sex tortured horrifically, my readings explain, by this brainwashed cult who were turned into child molester, meth heroin addicts, and they were turned into sexy mom haters, and they hate mothers who wear fitted clothes that are flattering, that they look good in, and they hate mothers who are divorced or separated or unwed, and that is who they target. And the human trafficker men and women they work with, they want them to target that type for human trafficking. They want families who have a good body, who are attractive, for their kiddie porn snuff movies, dead child corpse trafficking, and human sex trafficking. So the devil pulled a trick on a lot of dumb, naive, innocent, stupid, sheltered type people and turned them into sexy mom haters. They turned them into women who hate divorced, unwed, separated, or separated parents, and that's who they target. And they are trained to think a mother who looks good, who's divorced or unwed, shouldn't be a mother because they look good. And that's how this cult is trained to think. And they say that's who they focus on to frame and set up to the CPS secret court. And when they're very nice mothers who are overprotective, who are attractive, who dress nice, and they are told if they look good and go out at night, even with friends or relatives, uh, even if they don't drink or do drugs, and they just come home alone, they are told mothers like this shouldn't be parents, that they should have a two-parent household and that they should have remained married, and if they're unwed, moms and dads, they should be married, and they do discrimination and run many targeted families out of house and home based on marital status, which is illegal. Under the Fair Housing Law, people can live wherever they want. You cannot discriminate against their race, religion, or marital status. It says something like that under the DOJ Fair Housing Law. You cannot discriminate where somebody lives. And they run them out of many towns and cities secretly based on marital status. And that's who they target. And that's who they target also. They don't want a man there, a husband, to come and rescue the family is the other reason. And they will break couples up so that the man isn't there to save them or report them. They also frame a lot of innocent fathers to lock them up so they can't rescue the family. And it's a very wicked secret system, and the men and women running it have trained a cult. And they have told them, focus on mothers who look attractive in fitted clothes, who go out at night to socialize when their kids are busy, like they're at their dad's or a friend's house or whatever it is. And in this day and age, nobody's house is safe. No sleepovers are safe. As my reading says, many parents and their kids have been turned into child molester, murderers. Hard to fathom that. They're the devils with a mask on that my readings have explained 1,000,000 times over. They're suburb conservative type young women and teenagers and kids, and they get in it, and they think they're superior. They think they're goody two-shoe, good girls, and they think they should kill off anybody who looks a wee bit sexy, anybody who wears fitted clothing, anybody who gets divorced who is unwed. They are told to hate this type of person. And so I will try to explain the whole thing to get it all stopped. But this wicked cult, they are paid $1,000 a week to do what they call focus on attractive moms with a great shape who wear fitted clothes or not. And they are told to focus on this type. They are paid $1,000 a week to find them at shopping malls. They are paid to get receipts from malls and markets to see what they bought. And they do frame-ups with receipts. And so they target them based on their looks and marital status, as said. And the men and women running it put in spy cam equipment and lie it's to investigate what's going on inside a family home, when no, is to do peeping Tom, exploitation, to cast of family members for dead child corpse trafficking, kiddie porn snuff movies, and human sex trafficking. So they want attractive people for their movie business and to traffic them. That is why they trained a cult to target sexy looking mothers with a good figure and who are attractive, that is why. So these dumb idiots can't see through them. They are not perceptive. They train them, and my reading says, in classes in their neighborhoods with brochures, and they tell them if a mother buys nice bra and underwear sets that match, that means she has a sex problem. And the mother might not have had sex for 10 years. The mother might only be having sex with the dad as an unwed couple. The mother might be divorced legally and have one boyfriend who doesn't live with the family they have sex with. So it does not mean that if a woman wears a nice bra and underwear set. As many women do this and are brought up to think that is a normal thing to do, that they're supposed to do. And that's why they have huge foundation departments in department stores with bras and underwear of every color and every style. And if a woman goes and buys a new bra, like say a white bra, she's probably going to buy the underwear on the stand that match the bra. And to many that is normal. And they lie. If a woman does that, they have a sex problem when they don't. When they haven't had sex for a decade. When they don't have casual sex or flings. When they never had a sex problem in their life, and they hate pornography. And they frame these nice, modest, moral value type women who only have sex and love with their bras and underwear, my reading says, and with their clothes. And reading says, well, first, they pick who they're going to focus on. That means who they're going to target. Whose life are they going to ruin? By finding a sexy mom, or just a mom who looks good with a good figure and nice, flattering clothes. Who does their hair, makeup, and clothing as a single divorced mother, for example, as they're single. So many divorced parents are looking for love and romance, hope to have a relationship, so they want to look their best because they're single. They are no longer married, they're divorced. And that's the type they target. And they target unwed parents, as said. And so they scout out to see who looks good and who spends a lot of money at once. They target people who spend $100 at once on clothes and $100 at once to decorate their house and things like this. My readings have explained a million times over. And so they pick who they're focusing on, who they're targeting. And they also do it, frame them with their money. They make their income look less and their bills look more, like they're more, to frame the parents and to lie. They can't afford to pay for their family when they could just fine. So they put their name down on a list, and then they do credit reports, get bills, and then they make a big fraud framing file. Then they start siphoning their money out of their bank. They start stealing their work calls by bugging their phones to steal their income from them, to frame them to look like their bills are too high for their income. And they have 5, my readings say, realtor women an hour. They call the gals on patrol in my reading. They say they're the observation for the CPS secret court in-home investigator men and women. And they are trained to lie about nice mothers. They are trained to describe their clothes wrong, to frame them. And reading says 5 an hour, zip around a property and write framing notes about nice parents, and they steal their mail and money out of the mailbox. And they have 5 1-hour shifts, 5 women each hour, framing parents and stealing their mail and money. Reading says they also break in the houses with a fake in-home investigator pass key, or they have a locksmith make a key to the family homes and apartments, and they steal the mother's clothing, and then they frame them by putting outfits together from their clothes to make it look like they dress sexy, when they don't dress sexy and they never wore the outfits they put together. So it's a big frame-up operation. By framing them with bills, income, by changing it all and doing fraud, by fraud notes, by fraud fake outfits they never wore, as they are trained to frame others to look like they look too good to be a mother, when mothers have looked good all through history, like colonial days, with high hairdos and low cut dresses and powder on their chest, and mothers have looked good in the 50s with fitted dresses, darts, self belt, and makeup and hair done. So they lie that if a mom looks good, they should lose custody for looking good. That's their trick they use. So they have many housewife types in this ring who are conservative, who wear loose clothing and not a lot of makeup, flat shoes and cardigan sweater. Says Jesus, I'm channeling, who's explaining this with me, with God. And they say they pick very conservative, religious type women to frame others that they hate because they have fitted, flattering clothes on that show their shape, or because they buy a matching bra and underwear set, which many women do. They will buy a white bra and underwear to wear under a white outfit, a black bra and underwear to wear under black, a tan bra and underwear to wear under everything, and they will always normally have a strapless bra in case they have a strapless evening gown for Christmas Eve and this kind of thing. They frame them with undergarments and lie they're wearing them, bought them because they have a sex problem, even if they hadn't had sex for a decade. Even if they only have sex in their relationship. They only have sex in love. And they frame them with their undergarments and their clothes and frame them to look like they have another personality when they're covered from head to toe. They are not running around with their midriff showing and their shirt cut down to their waist. They are not running around with bare legs and short skirts. They have knee-length skirts and dark tights on and covered clothed shoes and long sleeves. So they are not dressed too sexy at all, and they frame them to make it look like they do. They also Photoshop spy cam footage. They Photoshop Facebook photos. They Photoshop people into the photos who aren't there. They Photoshop props and undergarments into the photos. So they frame nice, decent, moral value mothers to look like they have a sex problem when they don't. And that's their whole game. And that's what the men and women running this train them to do. And that's the game they play. And reading says the ones running this operation are 9 tall, dark men who are foreign. One could look Israeli. And they pretend they do in-home investigations. When no, they investigate who do they want for their kiddie porn movie to put in a cage. Who do they want for regular trafficking to put under their backyards in a room they dug to traffic them. That's what their gamut is. That's what they're doing. They're not doing an in-home investigation. They're investigating to see who they want to cast in their movies. And for dead corpse trafficking, kiddie porn and boy kiddie porn too, and everything else. That's the why they do pretend investigations. And readings say it starts out with a spy cam on the porch and bugging, and 2 spy cams over 2 doorways facing out in the house, and they lie they're doing a preliminary investigation, the 9 men, and they say they're in-home investigators for the CPS secret court and DCFS internationally, and run it in their CPS secret courts around county line which is a booth in their estate garages where they read lies in their cell phone. And those are women who pretend they do a child protective job who are the 9 men's relatives. And they get bugging from porches and sit on the back of their SUV hatch looping what family members say to each other. Then they lie. They have to do a further investigation by the looped bugging, artificial intelligence, mimicked voice recorders, and they put spy cam hacking equipment in the whole house, and they say their servicemen install it, the relatives of the 9 men and the fake child protective caseworkers, as this whole family is running it, that Jesus and God name the Antichrist. They are running a human sex torture, murder number 9 operation through the government system. And that's what they've explained a million times over, unfortunately. It's very sneaky and crooked, very deceptive. And they have a lot of dumb idiots who are naive and sheltered, who get into it, who fall for their fraud reports, their photoshopped photos, their looped bugging that they type, and they fall for all of it all over America. And they pay people all over America to be on their team, to text them if they see somebody on their list. So many are paid money and stolen property as bribery pay and gifts. They receive stolen property and stolen PayPal. Hackers send them. That's sent to stop trafficking. They sit around hacking and stealing. And Reedy says they collect the funds sitting parked in cars. Those are the child molesters who eat genitals till the victims are dead. Hard to fathom. A bunch of suburb yuppie kids with their own parents would be murdering victims with hatred. And that's what they're trained to do. They are trained at 9 years old, 10, 11, 13, 14, 16, 17. They are trained to hate mothers who look good, who file for divorce, who are unwed. They are trained to hate them with a passion. And they turn into serial killers, meth heroin junkie, child molesters, sex addicts. And they're the ones with the sex problem. And they sit around in new vehicles, 9 in a big car or a van. And Reading says they have no underwear, no pubic hair. They sit around in nurse dresses, having a lesbian orgy with each other while they watch themselves molesting babies and kids in kiddie porn movies on the dashboard. They did. And they sit drinking peppermint schnapps alcohol with meth heroin speedballs to shoot victims up, to capture them, to eat their genitals till they're dead. Hard to fathom. They do what the movie call sheet tells them to do, that is sent to their iPads, and that'll say cast list 5 young girls, 2 blonde, 2 black-haired, 4 to 7 years old, from these areas where your associates are in their kids porn zone. We have to get them by papers and you guys forcing shots. For the movie scene, call sheet time, 9 p.m. tonight in your local work, City Hall computer technician apartment buildings with rooftop patios, is what they're told by the in-home investigator, kiddie porn director. And they follow the instructions like dumb idiots. And he'll say, pack 8 for dead corpse trafficking on dry ice in the leaf crates you guys bought at Home Depot. And go frame these pregnant mamas and serve papers on them that our crews of 9,000 did, who lie about nice parents, to take them away, to pretend to help them, to slice them open with the carving knives you bought in packs at Costco, to get the unborns to eat their genitals. And they do what Charlie says, because they're like Charlie Manson women, killing pregnant women and their unborn babies by sex torturing them with their genital eating, cannibalistic mouth. So there's 199 in 10 areas of a valley, and that's the San Fernando Valley and surrounding valleys in California, and what they call their city hall, computer technician, local work, apartment, building, house, zone area, zoned by zip code. From Mulholland Highway down to, say, Saticoy, Sherman Way, Burbank, Oxnard, in stripes all across the San Fernando Valley are kiddie porn, child molester, serial killers parked in vehicles trying to get victims by lying in aims and by fraud reports. And so that's how it begins. They find an attractive mother who's divorced, separated, who filed by searching court records online and maybe in person, I don't know. They search court records to see who's divorced. They search to see who's head of household. They check how many kids they have. They run their license plates. They see a pretty mom at the park with kids. That these pedophiles in the cars, young women sit drooling at their underwear going down a slide. And they lie about a nice pretty mom at a park because they want to molest their children, whose underwear they stare at, drooling, because all they think of is children's vaginas they want to molest with their one-track mind. Is the biggest pedophile serial killer ring that's ever existed in time, says Jesus Christ and God. And that's why this photo artwork shows a boy handing Jesus a paper with Abraham Lincoln and George Washington to close down the family law courts, to close down CPS, DCFS internationally, as they run it all around county line all over the whole country. And it's very deceptive and sneaky, and many are in this lying and aiming game to make money and to get stolen property FedEx to them. Many children start in it to get free new Nordstrom's clothes FedEx to their door. And that's how they start them at 9 years old. And they send them texts of couples making love, like a mom and dad who are unwed, or a divorced mom and her boyfriend. They send intercourse close-up peeping Tom shots to children's cell phones and say, yuckity yuck, kids, look what the mom's doing. That means she's a very bad person. For coming is their word for orgasm, reading say 1,000,000 times over. So here they are showing 9-year-old children grown-up intercourse they shouldn't be looking at. And of course, any child would think it looked gross, seeing an intercourse peeping Tom shot. They don't know that's a normal act that humans do and love. And that's why there should be sex education in all the schools to train the children about anatomy, about intercourse grown-ups have, and about the fact that it's supposed to be private and children aren't supposed to see or know about it. As they get all grossed out and freaked out, having peeping Tom sent to their phones and run around shrieking, oh my God, a bad mom, gotta get custody taken. Oh, they were doing nasty in and out and coming and things like this, readings say, when it's grown-up lovemaking that kids should not see or know about. So they make them hate moms who they see peeping Tom shots of, who they see getting dressed for work at 9 a.m. Reading says at 9 a.m., 9,000 flip on their spy cam viewing button on their phone to see 900 moms getting dressed in the country. Well, many moms look sexy getting dressed. You're not supposed to see them. Is a peeping Tom voyeurist criminal, for Christ's sake? And a spy cam on the mirror they super glued on. You could say that about half the moms in America, probably. They look sexy getting dressed. So They lie there bad because they look sexy getting dressed. Seeing them in their bra and underwear. They're not supposed to see them getting dressed. And that's how they run this cult. 9,000 are paid stolen money, 1,000 a week or more, to spy on moms getting dressed at 9 a.m. And then they do a vote, thumbs up symbol, cap YES. Yes, the mom looks sexy, set 'em up. Many men vote yes, set 'em up, because they want to rape them at a hotel they take them to where they lie. They're going to console them in a group meeting. So many men are in it for an ulterior motive, to take them as sex slaves to rape them. So nobody should vote on any mothers or their kids on how they look in a peeping Tom spy cam or a photoshopped picture, as that's how it's run. And readings say they send the spy cam shots to famous actors, politicians, senators, and every governor's probably, assembly people at city halls, council women, and they send everybody peeping Tom shots and say, vote if you think they look sexy. Then they say, they're too sexy to be a mom, aren't they? Don't you think we should set the mom up for looking like that? When it's a photoshopped photo, a phony outfit they put together stealing their clothes, to frame them to look like they dress sexy when they don't. When it's peeping Tom of them getting dressed at 9 a.m., when they go out covered head to toe. Long sleeves, long pants, knee-length skirt, and dark tights, when no skin shows. They frame mothers who dress nice to look like they dress sexy when they don't. To frame them up to get all the family members for human trafficking, dead child corpse trafficking, sex torturing snuff movies, for FGM clitoral cutting, for freak-off gyno chair child pelvic stem exam movies. As reading says, this cult does freak-offs, and they rape babies and children in child baby pelvic exam stands, and mothers and older girls in gyno chairs. And that's the name of their game. Freak-off murders. That's what they are doing. They are addicted to the adrenaline rush. They are addicted to murdering victims. And they do it with hatred. These are suburb yuppie conservative young women who are raised by their own conservative religious parents to hate mothers who look a wee bit sexy, who walk with a tiny little old wiggle, is what my reading says. They say. And their mothers say, if a mom dresses nice in fitted clothing and does her hair and makeup an hour, that means she should lose custody, because moms shouldn't do that. So their moms frame nice parents, and then all their kids are taken right to their daughters, the child molester, genital eaters, addicted to freak-off murders. Hard to fathom. Bunch of yuppie, goody two-shoe looking kids would be murdering babies and kids in child pelvic exam stands with their genital eating, methed out, peppermint schnapps, drunk mouth, and readings poured it every day. And the 9 men doing the fake investigations, running kiddie porn trafficking, they all do these girls doggy style, and they say they're addicted to it. They do them from behind while they molest a baby or child in a child pelvic stand like animals. They are cannibalistic animals. That is what they are, eating genitals. Reading says, they say they do that so their blood runs through them to purify it, to get rid of the bad people on earth, born with a bad gene, and to kill all the mother's offspring who have the same gene in them, because they saw a close-up of their mom coming. They saw her in a nice bra and underwear getting dressed at 9 a.m. and the spy cam they super glued on the top of the mirror. And they think they're bad if they have an orgasm they see by the spy cams placed over the beds. This for an pretend in-home investigation. Then the 9 devil men send the peeping Tom from the spy cam over the beds to all these conservative religious housewife mothers and say, look at that. Oh, that's bad. They got to lose custody. Set them up. They run around hating their guts because they saw a close-up of an orgasm from the pretend in-home investigation when they're bad for looking at it. They're bad for knowing about a couple's private lovemaking. And so they are a brainwashed cult of conservative religious yuppies who are capturing the people by lying and framing and setups. So that's many housewives, and their daughters are the child molester murderers. And so it's a wicked system that's complicated to explain. And I've explained it all on my beforeitsnews.com published articles, Medium for God contributed, that everybody can read. Again, they pick who to focus on, means who to target, and then 5 realtor, gang stalker, gals on patrol, zip around, steal mail and money, steal clothes, frame them with clothes, write lies, frame them, set them up. Mortgage brokers rob their money from the banks. Others do fake household bill ledger sheets, and they steal phone calls, bugging their phone. They steal FedEx UPSs off the porch, rob them blind, the nicest moms on earth who are legally divorced, legally separated, or unwed. And that's what they do. They sit around doing frame-ups with spy cam hacking, bugging equipment. Then they all sit around on it. The child molester, pedophile, young girls and women and teens. They sit around drinking peppermint schnapps, doing meth and heroin, no underwear, pubic hair, and nurse outfits to do medical kidnaps. And they sit around lying in aims. And that's the gist of it, very unfortunately. And they lie there covering case files. Even if the case files are closed, they lie there covering people they're framing to be a not needed case file. And they're the danger, not the parents. The girls parked in newer cars that are in nurse outfits and lab coats. And they start them drinking peppermint schnapps at 9 years old. They are told, yuckity yuck, kids, look at the mom doing it in the spy cam. Well, they should not be looking at moms doing it in a peeping Tom shot or at all. They shouldn't know of this. They should know anyone sending them that is a bad person, and that it's wrong to do that. At 9 years old, they give them peppermint schnapps for free new clothes FedEx to their door, and they run around, and $100 pocket 90 kids, their text, under the table cash, to run around parks lying and exploiting nice mothers with reversed sentences, because they frame them to look like they're sexy mothers with Photoshop photos, peeping Tom, edited shops, looped bugging, and they type the looped bugging reports that they loop with artificial intelligence voice mimicker recorders in the booths they call a secret court. It's a booth they frame nice parents in to murder them and all their kids, is what it is. And reading says they have 9 booths. The devil number 9, who does everything mostly in a 9 and a 5. 9 booths, 9 estates around county line, mostly on the Ventura County side, or all on the Ventura County side. 9 booths they frame parents in all over the country, with looped bugging that they record in the booth they stand in. Then somebody else types the bugged looped report. Then they send it all over town and lie they have to cover these people and say, see, sir, ma'am, looky here at their report. Look at the spy cam shots we got. Look at their booty shorts they wore, their boy shorts. They're a style of underwear many women buy. Boy shorts, they're called. Boy short underwear. They lie are hot pants. No, they're booty shorts. They did peeping Tom spy cam shots on. And that's how they get the people, by a wicked framing ring. And they say they're the City Hall computer technicians, the nice good girls from the suburb outskirts. Why, yes, indeed. They're covering people to take them away for a meeting to console them in the rooms they booked at hotels and motels in California and lodges in the southern states where their peers are that they aim.